Hello world and hello friends. Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. I'm going to cut straight to the chase. I'm going to build a library this episode. And the reason is that's been something that has been on my mind for a while. It has actually been planned out from very early on. I don't remember exactly what episode, but right over here is actually a layout, a floor plan that I had created to make into a library eventually. But as time has gone on, and as I have really looked around at what I've been building, I've realized I have a problem. And that problem is scale. What I mean by that is that everything over here feels decently cohesive. All of these make sense in terms of the size and the size in terms of height and size in terms of square footage. This house makes sense. And honestly, if I had built everything based off of that, this world would be perfect. And in a sense, I kind of have. This house over here, the mud hut, it is about 7 blocks tall, give or take, and it's the smallest house I have. And honestly, this makes sense. This fits inside of this world. That house, despite being 2 stories tall, it is still very, if I can get away from the light pole, it is still very comparable in height to this house. The barns as well, while still being taller and a little chunkier, still roughly fit in with the same height and size as the main house. Now, a little spoilers for a few seconds from now, but even this house here, this greenhouse, is still pretty much the same size. Same with the Mason house. It is just a little bit shorter than my main house. But then we come to the final building I've made, my town hall. This is about twice as tall as everything else around here. Now, does that make sense? I don't really know. That's the big thing. I don't know if it makes sense that this is about twice the height as everything else. And also in terms of square footage, it is extremely larger in terms of square footage. And that's partially the way I was thinking, putting a library over there and a iron foundry something over there, because those two would be similar sized builds as the town hall. But as I've been thinking about what I'm going to do for the library, for the iron foundry, I've realized a few things, in addition to the scale. The first is that if I have the mason over there, why is there a library across from it? Wouldn't it make more sense to everything in that quadrant be about mining and other stuff be elsewhere, like I have all the farming over there? And with the greenhouse, it's in the center of town because why not have amusement stuff in the center of town? So that brings me to this wireframe behind me of a new idea I have for a library. It is a little bit smaller in terms of footprint, and it is rather geometrical. That geometricness of it is just because I feel like I want to make this library that is in that style of being geometric. But also because when I look around here and take a look at the terrain that I've created, it kind of fits as being this funky shape. Now, the biggest thing that I've been trying to figure out is the size of it, the height of these pillars. And when I was creating this, I did a lot of blocks of 23. Now, why 23? That's kind of more coincidence. On this corner here, it is 5 blocks from the path, and that corner is also 5 blocks from there, so I just connected the two together. Halfway in between the line, made a diagonal, but then I continued the 23 there, 23 there, and made a diagonal between those. And that's geometric enough for me. But this still begs the question, as I continue to work on this, is the town hall still going to be really big? Do I need to shrink it? Or do I just need to actually decorate the outside? Fully commit to the facade nature of this, which has been the plan all along, and add maybe 3 or 4 stories of windows. Because I think that's the main thing, is that all of those buildings, you get to know the scale. You see the details on it. This is just a brick. Literally, it's made out of bricks. And it's just in the shape of a brick. it has no sort of details on it. And also, I do gotta say, the lighthouse is looking a whole lot better. The water still needs work. Haven't touched that too much. And there's pillagers. This one gets added, let's say, right there. Nice. And construction has begun. I know it's weird that I have the doors on an angle for a somewhat geometric library, but I've kind of been wanting to have an angled door somewhere, and I kind of like the idea of it. The interior will come later. I'm first trying to get the outside to know exactly what I'm doing inside. But it looks like I'll have one floor there, and that height will likely be the roof. I don't know yet if I'm going to do a third story, but I do think I will have a basement, and I do have some ideas of what to do for a basement, and I might get to those later. Now, once again, things are subject to change, so don't hate on this current design too much, though do write down your feelings, because if I do come back to it later and things haven't changed, and you still don't like it, let me know. I will take any comments and suggestions. Everything's greatly appreciated. Now, I'll get back to work. So, I've been working, and I've been trying to figure out what's going to look good. And I realized that I just inherently have a problem with the structure that I mapped out. That's because these sides are a prime number. Yeah, I didn't think that through all the way. I just randomly mapped out and I was like, 23. Cool. Odd number. I can split that in half evenly. Um, but I didn't consider that 23 is a prime number and the half of 23 being 11 most of the time is also a prime number. And that's incredibly hard to decorate. As you can see from behind me, this is where I was first trying to decorate. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try to run with this, trying to add some color. But I just wasn't happy with this. So then I went over to this other side and actually moved the wall one block towards me. You can kind of see up above where the original wall was supposed to be. And now, with it being one block forward, I can create these archways, which, I mean, I think I found online. I might not have the variants. I'm still going back and forth on that. But this is actually a design that is far better than that over there. This side looks bland. This side looks better. This diagonal place, though, still working on. And I still might change how the doorway is. However, as I continue over here, you can kind of see the same thing that I laid out. Oh, I am a fan of the base that I made. It's it's not bad. I think though, as I adjust the sides of it, I'm gonna have to redo parts of these, but that is a-okay. Like I've said before, Minecraft is a game you can do and redo, and I am now in the redoing phase. But yes, if you look down here, I have all of these three spaced out, except for this side. So, initial thought is maybe move this one block out, and then this side would become 25, I believe. But another thought is I'm depending on if I do want to do the pattern that I have over here, make there be 5 windows so I can do skinny, wide, skinny, wide, skinny, which I think means I would shrink that wall by 2. So yeah, still a lot of work to do, but I wanted to bring you guys in because I've been kind of head down on this for a while, and I was either going to like update now, as I am, with this small progress update and show you the flaws, or I was just going to probably finish the whole outside. So I chose this option. I think this is coming along nicely. I know from this angle there's not too many changes. I did finally though figure out what to do for those diagonal sections. I have a feeling I might redo this top section. I think I was overly ambitious starting with the entryway. But I'm going to do a little fly around here for you just to see all the sides of it. All of the flat sides are the same, just the every three wide windows with some purple stained glass inside. And then this back side, I did a little finagling with. I think it looks good. I definitely will be getting to the foundation in just a little bit. You can see, though, just how much my plans have changed as I've actually figured out what pattern I'm doing and stuff like that. Now, inside, as you probably saw and can see just a little bit, I am starting to at least do the basic of an interior, and I found that I actually like planning things out with scaffolding. It gives me a good idea, and it's quick to dismantle, but I'll get back to this in a moment. Over here is kind of what I'm imagining this lower floor to be, is just all full of books, and eventually I'll put some chiseled bookshelves here and there just to break it up, but these are a little easier to acquire, so I just mostly have those around. A little table here eventually. The lighting decently spaced out, not too bright, not too dim, but also still regularly spaced. Front desk here, and yes, the staircases. I initially wasn't sure if I wanted to have a staircase behind the center, but then that would mean that I would have to put a walkway all the way across. And I feel like, just in general, while the ceiling is nice, I want there to be a little bit more air inside my library. So I might even move this block back one, and I think keeping a staircase more like this would be a little bit more appropriate. And yeah, there'll be slabs in the final design, but at least right now, I'm liking how this is going. Books on the bottom, maybe some study rooms and stuff up above, and then eventually some access to the basement that I still haven't thought about. Yeah. I eventually want to do a basement. Still deciding if I want to put the cartographer in here, but I am starting to think I do want to make a room just for cartography, just for maps. But I might as well put a map in here. That was not a lead into me doing something. I'm just thinking. Okay, this is coming along real nicely. And I know this view hasn't changed too much. But it was actually as I was flying along in this angle that I realized just how happy I am with the construction of this building. It this honestly this doesn't this doesn't feel like anything else I've built before. This feels so much more detailed and constructed, and I'm really happy with it. It's, yeah, not the same style as anything else, but that's okay. Libraries can be like that. And just all around, I am very happy with the work I've done. And yeah, more scaffolding, just showing some temporary stuff, but yeah, I can you tell I'm happy? Can you tell I'm enjoying this? I'm happy. I don't know what else to say for it. That's a lie. I do know something else to say, and that is this back patio overlook area. This is still a work in progress. I put the scaffolding in just to give myself an idea of how this would be and feel if I keep the walls where they are. There is a chance I would raise this up, but I think maybe having a step down there is going to be okay. And then this area will be nice just to be able to see everything over here, which isn't much. Over here, there's a little bit more. But as I develop further, I think I will be getting some more stuff over there. So if someone was to go to the library, get a book, and didn't want to read inside, but let's say wanted to read outside, then boy, do I have a place for them. It's going to be outside with the fresh air and with some good views. So I think it is time I start tackling the second floor. Yeah, it is weird that I've kept this as one story for so long. I'm beginning to like it as one story, but I also know it needs to have a second floor. So I'm going to do that. And the second floor walls have been completed. I think I need to still adjust that center area to be in line with how I'm doing everything. though I have kept all of the spruce be unstripped just for now. I still haven't decided what I'm doing for the roof yet, but everything else is looking pretty good, pretty solid, and I just hope the roof is going to be that cherry on top. Now I will say, as I miss my fountain, I will say that I've been going back and forth between doing some yellow windows or keeping the purple windows. I think I'm going to keep the purple windows for right now. So let's do that. And we have our roof. I'm not entirely confident in it. I mean, I like how that side looks, but as soon as, well, I mean, yeah, both flat sides. But as soon as I get to that diagonal, I'm less confident in it. I think I've done my best to make it work, but I have a feeling that this area here might be something that I need to redo later down the line. But for right now, I'm happy with it. I got some nice little yellow windows on there, and I should probably go sleep. Also, I think I've spawn-proofed this whole roof. I just need to work on spawn-proofing some of the other underhangs over there. But I will see how much that will actually change once I do the interior. I had a little bit of fun with this, but also I kind of just made everything be mirrored. So I have, of course, a whole shelf of books over here, a little table to read at, and not too much, a little dark corner which I might make stairs down. This front foyer or entrance area, I mean, I guess in a sense, if this could be like navigational books, and of course his uh, workstation. And also a little bit of fun down below. I have an ender chest down there for some particle effect, but some purple to tie in with the glass. On this side, it's the same design as the opposite side, so everything's pretty much mirrored. Going up on this way, I think I'm going to keep these bookshelves empty just for right now. Might do something else with it. But this would be more of like a study or a work area. You could do it all together. You could have some views out the window, which, I mean, aren't great, but hey, they're not bad. And then I kind of like these. They're little, if you wanted a table looking over the edge, you would have a backstop. But also, if you're not careful, you can knock those down. But I think that's a fun little touch to add. Once again, same design on this side. I made some random seating arrangements, but nothing too crazy. Out the back, I also kept pretty simple. Some tables to stand at, some tables to sit at, and overall just being able to get a good view of everything that is around here. And I think with that, I'm going to call this library complete. I know I mentioned something about doing a basement, but I don't really have a solid idea on what to do, and I am out of time for this video. I am recording this segment on September 28th. I'm going to post this September 29th, and on September 30th, which I am very excited for, is when the Copper Age drops. There's going to be a lot of extra blocks in there, and I am excited to spread the new copper blocks all around and use them as much as I can to add more decorations. That being said, I know I did mention that this walkway may change, but I think I might keep it, at least for right now. I don't have any better ideas, which seems to be a recurring problem. So leave a comment down below if you have a better idea. And yeah, the railway behind me does connect to my town hall. It does connect to the village breeder, and I'll eventually take this down. And by eventually, I do mean right now. As I was about to just clean everything up here as well, I realized I did not show you this mini contraption I made to help make these chiseled bookshelves. I was also just giving myself one stack to keep with me, but let me show you how it works. So it's pretty simple, and honestly, I didn't worry about compactness. If I really wanted to, I probably could find a way. But how it works is that note block is triggered and activates this crafter. It is fed in bamboo planks from this double chest, and the bamboo planks also go into this crafter, which craft these slabs. Now, if you look at the crafting recipe, there are 6 slabs used, or sorry, 6 planks used and only 3 slabs used. So if you trigger both at the same time, you will get twice as many planks as you need to create the chiseled bookshelves. So that's where the bulb comes in. It flips it around. So if I press 1, a chiseled bookshelf comes out, and now the slabs are at 4. If I click the note block again, I get another another bookshelf, but now these are at 5 because 6 slabs came over and half of them were used. So if you watch the red on that side, and maybe this is a good angle, you can see how every other one, the second crafter gets crafted. So that is just a fun little way that I created chiseled bookshelves on demand, which, I mean, I didn't really need to do. I could have just done them by hand, but I wanted to have fun with the crafters. Alright, the cleanup is done, and before I move on, let's update these maps. So, let's see, should be dead center one. It might pick up on some of the others. Let's see what we got. And we have got a two-tone house. I don't think I ever fully realized it did that. I mean, I can now, looking at it, I can see it on this house. I can see it on that house. And I can see it over there, but I don't think I ever saw both side by side. So, interesting. And interestingly enough, at least for me, you can still see the two-toneness on that size of map and a little bit on this size of map. You can kind of tell the difference. So there we have it, the library. I have a feeling I might make a few finishing touches here and there as time goes on, but overall I am still very happy with what I have created and what is going to be sitting here in sort of the main square area. Now there still is some room for me to make a basement and even make an entrance from down here, so stay tuned to see what exactly will happen there. So without any further ado, thank you all for watching. Next video, I hope we'll be able to have a lot of exploration with the new copper additions, but we will see. There might be a little bit delay on that one depending on how many of my mods are able to upgrade so far. So it might be the week after that. But regardless, thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more. Leave a like if you think I did a good job. If you don't think I did a good job, leave a comment. Let me know what I can improve. And until next time, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and be good to the world. This has been Radio, signing off.